So I've been doing some mock-up on the 70 Mustang, and the left front or right front fender fits really well. I have to do a little bit of adjustment down there at the bottom, but otherwise the doors and everything are lining up really good. But we got a new fender for the driver's side. This came from Mustangs Unlimited, and the gap is pretty nice, top to bottom. And I can adjust it a little bit when I push on it. What I don't like is this part right here. It's the top of this fender where it transitions from the door. The radius doesn't match up, and when you get over to this side, it doesn't match up here. So what I'm going to do is take what's left of the original fender. I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to section in just this rear piece so that I have the factory shape that matches the door. A little tricky, but I think it's worth it in the end. Some people would probably just beat this in and reshape it with Bondo. I don't like that idea. This is the original fender. The front of it's all beat up. That's why I have no problem doing this. I've already started the cut. I'm going to cut it off here, and then I will make it match the new fender as needed, so that I have this nice transition and everything fits up nice. Okay, there's the piece cut off the original fender, and here's the replacement fender like I was saying. And you can look, now this might help, you can see the transition I was talking about. You can see how dramatic that curve is on the original and how flat it is on that piece. So hopefully when this is all said and done, you won't be able to tell that this was cut apart, and it'll look more like the original fender. Well, there it is with the original corner cut off, and this is how the new piece fits up. We've got maybe a little more trimming to do, but I've got it following the lines real good, and I'm going to set it up like this and mock it up on the car, make sure it lines up. If it's good, I'll tack it in place and drive on from there. Okay, there it is mocked up. I didn't tack it yet. You can see down here it gets a little bit tight, so I'm going to have to custom trim that a little bit to get it up into shape, but it matches the layout of the door now. And once I get it all tacked into place, blend it out, it'll look just fine. Alright, I've done the final fitment of the piece. I'm happy with the gap, the way it looks. Right, there's the cut line I made where I collapsed that section in, and then everything else lines up real nice. I prepped it, and I'm just going to weld it on. There it is, tacked into place. Lines up real nice. Well, there it is, all tacked in, blended. Now you can see that gap turned out real nice. Now all I need to do is take it back off the car and finish welding up the spot welds. There's a couple in here, and a couple up on top up here. And then I'll also roll this edge around a little bit more here and tack it in. So that's all it needs. A couple other things I found on this fender. This front section up here, this corner, was sticking out too far, so I made a little slit cut there, and I'm going to tack that back in. Down here, this lower section stuck out about 1/4 of an inch, so I did a relief cut, broke the spot welds loose, pushed it back in, and then when I test fit the headlight panel, this section here, as you can see, I cut it, but this was too long, so I put a relief cut. I'm going to push that back up in place, weld that, and it'll take care of that gap, and it also put the piece in the proper location, so when the headlight bezel goes on, it'll look good. Okay, there it is. All filled in. We got a good gap going. And next step is to get some primer on it.